Alright, welcome everybody. Today we are coming back to Foundation before the holiday. So yeah, don't have much more to say than that. Let's get started. It should show up here for you in a moment. Gonna hit continue. And I'm just double checking to make sure it actually shows up for you. I know it always takes a second. There we go. Alright, so last we left off on Monday, I believe. We are getting these final jobs here listed for having a bunch of high density housing. We have to host the seneschal at the tavern, have a city belfry, and labor splendor of 500 or more. So we got a ways to go, but we already have a decent amount of high density housing, which I think is good. And I think every single area that we have kind of different sections and burgs, we have some high density houses, which is great. Okay, we've got 2 workers who are unemployed, supposedly, but maybe that just happened at the end of last stream right as we saved, so they're already assigned somewhere and just need to make it there, because they won't get added here. Okay, as far as storage over here, we want to put some quartz. Put some glass. And maybe we'll do some more gold bars. Okay, as a commoner, you've got all your needs met. As a serf, you've got all your needs met, so we'll upgrade you to be a little bit more productive here. Then at this one, same here. So now from being 25% productive altogether, each of those is 50% productive, which is better. Still not great, but I don't yet have confidence in upgrading them up to citizen any more than I already have. Because currently, I think the easiest way to see how many I've got is in this taxation menu. I have 2 citizens. And in the past they've been relatively unhappy because they both are missing one of 3 food sources. And then also we need luxury items to make them happy, which I'm just barely getting started on. So we will have to deal with that. Now, what kind of buildings do I have that are still being built? I'm going construction on a wheat farm, on that warehouse, and on a lumber camp. So we are going to go find that lumber camp. Right, that is what we ended last stream with. So we could start clearing some of these trees away for this particular wheat farm to have more space, since you can't farm wheat in between trees. We're going to go ahead and paint some wood cutting space, so the moment that we get people actually able to start working, that they just go for it. That should probably be good enough for now, I imagine. As soon as we get more people, I can assign them spaces in those. Now, other than that, we had... Okay, wheat farm, warehouse, lumber camp. Cool. We know all 3 of those. That's right. One of the reasons that we're doing wheat is to continue increasing our bread production, but also hopefully to get beer a little bit more consistent, because that lack of beer is going to cause a lack of entertainment needs being met. Okay, good. We got quite a bit of patrolling going on here, which means all of these houses are medium density, and then we can consider making high density an option. But this one's not considered lightly fortified, so we need to figure that out as well. But all the rest of them are, so I guess we just missed out on the one. Interesting. Okay. Make a, what's it called, a watchtower? City watchtower. Because anything within this that is already in medium density, this counts as a heavy fortification so that they can be upgraded to high density housing. Now, how are we doing on cheese production? We still only have a total of 24 in our entire city. Yeah. Do I have another cheesemaker or just the one right now? Because I think I made another dairy farm, but then I was considering making another cheesemaker just to hopefully keep the workload going faster. But they don't even have enough milk to continue working, so I don't think another cheesemaker is going to help yet. The issue is, just like with any other farm, there are cycles of how often we get the resources necessary, so I guess we will just wait until we get more milk to be made into more cheese. Oh, looks like some more milk did just get brought there, so that's good. And I am just double checking to make sure, because I'm curious. I feel like I considered making another cheese maker. Nope, just the one. Great. That might be something we consider in the future, depending, but we gotta wait for some of these other buildings to be built first. Stonecutter camp's already full. Same with this one. We recovered from stone being an issue of supply a couple episodes ago, so I'm pretty happy with that. I know that we have a storage space, a warehouse over here. It can hold up to 100 stone, so some of that could be brought. It's just kind of dependent upon the workers here and what they're picking up first before going to get something like that. Okay, I imagine we probably have some more people right there. Lovely. And are there any other... Nope, okay. No other pressing, like, timed missions or anything showing up, so that's good. Well, we'll have one of those be a woodcutter, and two of those be farmers, so that we can expand this space. But again, waiting on these woodcutters being able to cut down to use the space fully. So we're going to prioritize that, because all it takes now is 2 tools to make a lumber camp. We got plenty. It looks like Juan's already bringing it, so that's good for us. Curious to know. Okay, there's not a quick way to find where that worker is. But I imagine this is him, maybe? Sure is. Great. So once that's done, I imagine they'll work on the watchtower, This farm's almost done too. Great. So lumber camp is done. All 3 of those workers that were already assigned will go there. They'll start chopping down within that zone that I just set apart. Although I guess before starting over here, I want them to take care of that. So let me edit that space real quick. We will eventually go over here, but more urgently I want to get over to that side. Okay, so from here, what's going to be important? Now that that's done, and that's done. Okay, yeah, all 3 of these unemployed villagers just haven't made it to their workspaces yet, which were out here. Which makes sense, because that's way out here, and they were welcomed into town out here, so we gotta walk all the way out there. But luckily, because we've got a lot of good high-density housing here, they shouldn't have issues as far as, like, having a home near their workplace, so it's good that we've already taken care of that. Still waiting on that one. What else was there? Looks like everything is built, including that warehouse. So this should be the only building being built at the moment, other than maybe the wall that we're still in the process of making way out here. I think maybe I should have been more realistic about maybe a smaller space to put city walls around, and then just have like outer encampments that are kind of separately walled. But now we know for future reference that maybe that's a good option. But as it stands, that's just... I mean, we're already building way out. I can't even tell where we stopped. Here? Nope, we continue through the... Yep, okay. Through the trees. Nope. Somewhere out here. Trees sure make it difficult to see, don't they? Okay, we keep going. But it does look like maybe we stop right here. Because that's the end of our current property line out here, then we can swing it back around to this point. Okay, we got a couple more people coming in. I'm going to speed up time so I can claim them a little faster. Slow it down so that I don't waste any in-game time just scrolling over and assigning them to work. Go with a couple more farmers there. Okay, good. Wood cutting's coming along. I'm actually going to say let's expand this one to have some more workers. For each snoring post, we get one more worker that can work here. Each napping post, one more. And each limbing post can add one more. Now, there's the issue of if I expand this undesirable space too far that it overlaps into housing, then that means that we can't make those high quality houses or even medium quality houses. But this shouldn't expand it too much, so I'm fine with that. And we could do with more space, just because the more wood we have, the more it can be converted into planks. And then the more planks we have, the more we can build or sell our excess for income. I'll add a little bit of decoration because that is one of our goals for the end of the game, to have 500 of that particular little green star, which is labor splendor. Tool racks. Well, just for the sake of flavor, we probably want tools closer to the workspace. So we'll apply those changes. When they're all done, that means that we're going to have space for, I think, 6 more woodcutters, which will increase that workload, or the working pace of that quite a bit. So from there, how are we doing? Okay, good. We have a worker who is actually bringing stuff already, which is great. Oh, lack of rustic food. But we have decent amount of fish and berries, so you just need to go to the marketplace on your break. But also, it's not like there's a marketplace particularly close to you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Luke. Did not realize that it would automatically... We're playing around with some auto mod options, and I guess that like, decided to get rid of that message. I don't know how to possibly undo that for you. Thank you, Say, for removing the timeout. My bad. Yeah, I don't know an easy way to go for it. No, for real. Happy Christmas Eve, I guess. Embarrassing auto mod. Alright, fair enough. I'll have to maybe fine tweak the settings later. Yeah. We're still new to this, figuring shit out. Guess we'll speed that up. Because once that's built, we'll get a lot of high density housing here. Timo's great, Luke. Yeah, that's like the username that I have, but since I'm also kind of tying it to my professional persona as an actor, and it's like got my socials and stuff, then yeah, Timo's fine. Thank you, I appreciate it. Although I didn't originally come up with it, I'm pretty proud of it. I feel like it's relatively unique and also fitting in some way. Tim just feels too short, and also for some reason is tied to like, alright, great, enjoy vacuuming. I feel like Tim is just like too short and also tied to a lot of like extended family using that as like a shorter nickname. It just kind of feels a little foreign to me. And then Timothy's just too long. Gotta save that extra syllable for something else, I guess. Right, got more workers. Throw one in woodcutting, other in farming. Alright, and we got our watchtower, which means now we've got a lot of high density housing that's being built. Takes quite a bit of planks to make all of them happen, so we are gonna, I think, run low on those. But luckily we've got a good amount of wood to kind of be our backup. Yes, I'm aware that space is too small. We're working on expanding it. That's the whole point of the tree cutting going on. Oh, hold on. Let's go to wood cutting, expand into that, because for some reason they're missing that tree. There we go. Good job. I've always been curious because I haven't been paying too much close attention. After a tree gets cut down, how long until the stump just disappears? Or is it a separate thing that they have to do to take care of the stump? I don't know. You know what? Let's actually, in hopes to kind of localize this a little bit better. And then once that's taken care of, maybe we'll expand over to this side. Okay. Because yeah, it seems like with most workplaces, they will start with the closest area that's highlighted for their job and work their way out from there, which is great. But if the closest was over here, and I want them to get this done, I'll just erase that for now and keep them over in that space. Okay. So the farm's done. Lumber camp is being expanded. I think that's it. Okay. No more immigrants yet, but they're on their way. I was going to take a look. Okay, good. The well that I set up a while ago did finally get built, so they've got access to water. Let's have this warehouse have another worker, and let's get some iron bars here as well. Just a couple, and then we'll leave some empty spaces just in case for future goals, as well as future like resources that I end up starting to build. Because I'll need a space for like jewelry and stuff. Okay, immigrants are in. Let's actually go back to that warehouse and assign 2 of those new guys there. Okay. So what's the holdup with cheese? Is it still just we get swarms of milk at once? Oh, I didn't mean to pause the game somehow. Okay. How are we doing on total milk? Cheese here, milk here. Okay, so we have a lot of milk. The cheesemaker just isn't keeping up with it. So, that's great. I would much rather have enough resources of like the raw resources that can be made into something better than not enough of the base resource. Oh no, I hope. Okay, good. Because they're not highlighted, that means that these ones are not currently considered undesirable. But near all of these dairy farms, we got 2 out here and 1 down here. Maybe we put the cheesemaker for down here over here so that it's not expanding undesirable space. There's a path right there, so it should be easy enough for people to get to. Let's say the door's right there. And that the actual cheese making's done on that side. Again, just for flavor. It's not like it actually affects much as far as gameplay. So from there, if we go back to this, the lumber camp's still being added onto. Don't know why the treasury keeps showing up as like it's being placed, because it's already done, I think. Unless they started expanding it before and then didn't finish the adjustment. Nope, it says it's done. Oh boy, and I just realized we have a ton of money. So we need to spend some of that real quick so that we don't reach our limit as far as what our coffers can hold. And then maybe I will expand the treasury after that. But as far as a quick fix, I think maybe we go for another glass smelter. Since we've got so much quartz on hand, I think that's worth it. Because it costs a lot of money, because it's a relatively late game building. Costs 500 up front. And it does not have an undesirable space, supposedly. But it does need to be within a lightly fortified area. So I think this would count. Let me double check and see if I have undesirable neighborhood. Yeah, supposedly that doesn't affect it, so... Right here's great. Done. Okay, now we will do that again. And I think we'll go get to work on expanding that treasury out a little bit so that I don't have these moments of panic where we're getting close. Okay, cool. 2 more workers. We'll send them out to be woodcutters out here. Okay. Yep, I recognize that this space is too small. We're working on it. Right. Okay, treasury time. Let's go ahead and expand this out a little bit more. A little roof boudoir added. That should be fine. What if I scoot it just a little bit more? Going to add on 360 to our total capacity, and then maybe we throw on a little miner tower as well. So a total of 600 added to our capacity. Yeah, let's go with that. We're doing on cheese still about 50, which is great to have on hand. Beer production's still pretty low. We have an okay amount of hops on hand, but I think that's just because in my granary storage here, yeah, there's only hops being held in one spot, which means we can only hold a maximum of 100 in storage until I make room somewhere else. So we'll see if that causes issues or if I need to make another hops farm as well. Got a lot of woodcutters, just none of them are working right now. As we can see that a couple were sleeping, and then these ones are either on free time or going to church. I mean, I guess church is part of their free time, but... Gotta get some trees cut down, my guys. It's important. Okay, got a couple more people here. Making both woodcutters. And then I could fill out the remaining space. Let's see. I think it starts with 3. So I think that's all the workers. We can add one more here. But I'm going to hold off on that because I think the next wave of immigrants, I want to have 2 of them be assigned to this glass smelter out here. Because that's going to be done relatively soon. Builder Enrique is working on it hard, so... Let's see... As far as smelting goes, though, it requires coal as well as whatever material you've got. So, like, glass smelting? Yeah. Needs quartz, but also coal to make glass. And since I've got quite a bit of smelting, maybe I need to consider another charcoal burner. So let's get a charcoal hut. I guess I forgot that this house already is considered undesirable. But I don't want to expand it into any of those other ones, so I think we'll keep it out here. All done. There's no wait, right? Maybe it is. Well, it says it's being placed, so I'm confused about the wording on that, but yeah, I think last time that we set it to do something, it included that gate and then went all the way around here. So we can add on to that as well. We've got resources for it. So let's go with a city wall from this end. Work our way to here. Just kidding, I'm not super happy about that. So we'll go here, then we'll add another one. There we go. Now it's not going to curve and be upset about it. Okay, now we can vaguely see the property lines right there. Oh, right here. Perfect. Oh, and you can build it across the water. Nice. Sure. Let's actually stop there just because, resources permitting, it's going to be a while before we'll actually have that done. Oh, but these are village fortifications. Oh no, I'm so wrong. Destroy them. Is that right? Because I think the other one was city fortification. No? Okay, we're good. Never mind. Whew. But just making sure I place city walls, not village walls or fieldstone walls. It's not going to tell me necessarily. Okay, that does seem to be city wall, so I think we're okay. For a second, just the way that it looked concerned me, but we're alright. Okay, treasury's almost done. In fact, it's already expanded our total capacity somewhat. And the charcoal hut's done. Got one person I can send there. Oh, but I was going to send them to the glass smelter. Oh well. We're good. Okay, 2 glass blowers, 2 more charcoal burners. And more people showing up, I think. No, I guess that was the group. I just forget at 3 times speed that they move pretty fast. Okay. Oh, and our cheesemaker's done. Great. I don't have anybody to work there. That's okay. So I guess having people assigned to charcoal out there, I forgot that they're going to need a workplace assigned. So charcoal burner was here. Good. They're already doing some along with the existing charcoal workers out here, but let's have them also expand out here. I did not think about making a gate across this path, though, which means that people can no longer enter town from this side. So maybe I'll need to make an edit for that, if I can find where the trail is. Oh, the path went along out here. Used to, I guess, until I walled it off. Unless this path solely exists just to build the wall, which might be the case. Because I'm not seeing any clearly marked walking paths out that direction. So I guess everybody can still get in via this pathway, which I have a gate. Oh, and the game speed paused again. That's fine. Okay. And then I think I have another gate out in that direction or something. So right there? I don't think it was. I think it was further this way. Right there. Cool. Great. Okay, these both are going to be cheesemakers up there. Which is this building. Treasury's done. How are we doing on this farm out here? They really haven't chopped many trees. What's their deal? Did they only go out a certain... Oh, storage is full. Okay. I guess since I didn't add any additional storage like I was considering doing, that means that they don't have space to put any excess. I added decorative stuff only. Oh, and drinking posts and stewing posts will add to worker capacity, but I don't think I need to. So, we're going to expand out this way with some storage space. And when those 4 are done, that means this can hold 100 more resources than the 50 that it currently does. But now that somebody just took some of that wood away for a building project or something, that means my workers can all go out immediately and do their thing, which is great. Okay, from there, what's your deal? It says that a thing has no longer been met, which is, in this case, patrol coverage. Because it hasn't been patrolled enough recently, it could be downsized. I I guess I need to assign some more patrollers here to make sure that all these houses can stay at the capacity that they currently are. So as soon as I get more workers, I will assign them to both be patrollers in that particular tower as well as cheese makers in this building. Good. And these ones, since a lot of them are doubled up, they seem to be pretty consistently meeting their required patrolling amounts. Okay, a couple more. I think we'll have one cheesemaker, one patroller right here. Nice. So we finally have seen what high quality housing looks like. I think this is kind of your stereotypical London Shakespearean type vibe. So neat. This one is both high density and high quality because it has a citizen. Somebody here is considered a citizen. Not you, maybe you? No? Taylor. Yes, okay. Cool. Because houses won't upgrade in quality until you have a person of a certain, like, standard who are like, I need a better quality house. And so I think only currently upgraded like 2 or 3 of those. Let's see. If we go to villagers, yeah, I've only got 2 citizens. So if they both would live within the same complex, which I don't think they do, I should have another high quality house somewhere for that citizen. Guess who's the other one? Tailor and a brewer. So that was the tailor. Agnolina. Ooh, that's 3 N's in your name. What a name you've got. And your home is... Oh, you both live in the same one. Got it. Brewer and Taylor. Got it. So that's my only high quality house because that's the only 2 people I have that need one. Let's get another cheese maker. Actually, let's go with 2. And then for my 3rd person I just got, it will be the final patroller here. Just got a notification saying there's no more room in my inn. Getting so many villagers now that I don't have space to house them all. Not villagers, visitors. Wood for the elders. They are looking to repair a few bridges across the region. One of their merchants noticed my woodcutting camps and wants to make me an offer. So this will increase my labor influence and give me money. I'm going to try to haggle because there's a 90% chance that I'll get a good deal on it. So instead of 300, we're going to get 600 gold for the same amount, which is 200 logs. And we're just going to go ahead and do that right now. Done. Okay. Okay. As far as patrolling out here, we're doing all right, but there are some that really are not maintaining that amount of patrol coverage that they need. So rather than just add on to this, because the way that it works is if you have 5 patrollers, they're all going to go out at once, which is fine as far as like having a wider space and a little bit longer of being patrolled, but not quite enough to really maintain a lot of buildings at once. So if we get another watchtower, nope, not a watchtower, a watch post in a manor house, then we can have 2 different groups patrolling at once. And I think we're going to go with Manor Hall. These both say minor. I think that's a glitch, because the minor one only holds 1, and then this one that says it's minor holds 5. So we will stick with the major one that says it's minor, but put it in a place that it can not demolish existing houses. And then we'll put a nice little gate on the end of it, because those are the 2 things needed in order to have this building function. And let's see. I think maybe we put something added onto it, if only because that way we can fit a few more people patrolling. And then for decoration, let's add a little weather vane on top, because that's always fun. And just throw on a little balcony. Looks a little goofy. Yeah, I like that. Because in everything I do, I need more decor in order to get that labor splendor up. Now, we currently have 29 high-density houses, where I need a total of 30, so we're working on it. We're getting there. Okay. As far as currently under construction, is there any current status? It says there's none under construction, but I know at least we've got that tower that I just put out here. Out here. There. We got 3 builders bringing resources, so that must be one of the only buildings that's being worked on at the moment, which is great for the sake of getting that one done. In fact, we are going to paint this patrol area already. To help get that overlap going here. Now, there's nobody assigned, so it's not going to do much at the moment, but it is what it is. I thought I saw more people coming in, but maybe I didn't. Or I missed them? I guess that's the issue with speeding through too much. Sometimes you have people show up that if I don't get to them quick enough, then their timer expires and they leave. cheese, we're still maintaining at about 50-ish. Okay, great. They've expanded this quite a bit since I've been busy doing other things. So we continue this range out. Still too small for the amount of workers I have, but that's alright. We're getting there. Oh, and then I need to do this painting. Okay. Don't need that space anymore. It's not like they were using it anyway because there weren't trees there, but I think we'll go out this way. Now, I'm curious to know if there is a range of when they'll just kind of stop woodcutting if it's too far away from their workspace. I don't know. Okay, there's 4 there. We'll assign... Oh, great. We've already got all the cheesemakers. We'll have 1 patroller, 1 watchman here. I think we're going to hold off on getting more watchmen because they're not super necessary. Because their big deal is they'll come and sit on these watchtowers. But I don't think I need nearly as many as I do patrollers. So as soon as this one's built out a little bit more, it'll have space for me to assign more patrollers. Hey, we have a surplus of construction materials. Wood and stone. With these, anything is possible. Your villagers look at the surplus and marvel at their potential. Will it be a church, a manor, a tavern? Excitedly, everyone ponders what might come next. It just gives us a little happiness boost, because all of the people can see that we're thriving as far as raw materials. Celebrating bread. With so much bread in the granaries, I don't know if I have so much, but okay. The elders believe your village might be ready for a bread fair. If you ensure everyone has a good time, there is a good chance the trading value of this resource will improve. Okay, so it's literally just a fair like any of the other things. I don't need to sell any bread in it, so that's good. It's fine to have the excess. I could order my bakers to work double. There's a 60% chance that the yields of bread are increased, but a 40% chance that it's decreased. It's close enough to 50-50 that I'm kind of concerned about it, especially since bread is something that our citizens need. So instead of trying to order the bakers to work more, we're just going to host the fair as is. And once we do it, as long as our people are happy enough when the fair happens in 3 weeks, then that means that we will get a bonus when we sell bread, which we're not currently doing. But we also will just get a trade price bonus from any village of a specific, like, it says of clergy alliance. And then we'll get a happiness bonus for completing the thing. So I'm good with that. I still have 2 workers unassigned, but it's only because I'm waiting on this to be done a little bit more. So that it fits more people in it. Now it does look like even just having 1 more patroller has made that so much better. So I'll still throw maybe a couple more on, but I don't necessarily need to completely fill it with patrollers. Yeah, okay, we keep reaching our limit with the amount of people staying at our tavern as visitors. So I think we'll need to expand this one a little bit. throw some decor on it somewhere. No, looks like you have to do that underneath these eaves that I've already built on, so that's fine. Throw a weather vane on? Nope, same thing. Okay. Regardless, we're looking to expand capacity. What do you mean too far? It's part of this, isn't it? Too far from what? This is the building I'm editing. Oh, no, the in-lodge is what I'm editing. Okay, so remove that, go to the in-lodge. And we'll throw on a thatched cabin. That will add on a capacity of 16. I bet we can throw a weather vane on this one. If I can find it. Sure can. Okay. We had some delighted visitors. Oh, good. A decorative metal pole. Can I even see it if I have one? No, it's underneath the eaves of that one, so can we put it up higher? Sure can, look at that. Throw on some ivy. And we will apply those changes. Now we'll have space for more visitors as soon as that's built, and I assign more innkeepers, because the capacity is also tied to the amount of people working it. Okay. How are we doing on this? Nope, not that. This. We'll assign, I guess, that many more. That's fine. Because my income, not my income, the amount of people incoming as like immigrants is also tied to the amount of like the levels of unemployment I have. So if I sit by with a ton of people just waiting to be assigned, the amount of continuously incoming people kind of decreases. So I suppose it's not bad to have all of the patrollers there working, especially if I don't have anywhere else to assign them at the moment. Okay. Let's go ahead and assign some build bars there. And I think we're going to unassign gold ore in these spots because we finally burned through all of our existing inventory of gold ore. That actually might be a problem now for having 2 gold smelters, since we finally worked through all of our backlog of resources. Well, that's fine. We can start selling gold ore, or gold bars, I mean. So going back to trade. Let's see here. I'm going to say we can sell everything in gold bars above 200, let's say. Because it's not like I'm needing the income. It'll just make sure that we continue, like, getting through the resources that we have. And now that I have gold bars, actually, I think I just realized maybe I don't want to trade them, because pretty sure that gold bars are considered a luxury item. We're going to go check on our Wait, hold on. Surplus polished stones. I don't know, it didn't say that we have like a surplus, but they'll take 100 and give us beer, which is important for us. Let's see here. I think we are going to haggle. It'll still be 100 polished stone, but it'll give me more beer. So instead of 75, we get 100 for it. And yes, we'll prepare that and immediately make that trade because I've got the polished stone on hand. Okay, so going back to high quality housing, which was this one. You need luxury. Okay, so it's not just plain gold bars. You have to make it into jewelry, or they can take plain gems. Great. Okay, our fair happened and everybody was happy, so we get an additional happiness bonus for having a merry fair. Okay, so we're going to throw on a couple more innkeepers, which make it so that we can fit this many more people staying as visitors. I think also I want to send out my bailiff to prospect for more resources. Let's go here. And that's out there. Way out there. Okay, neat. So in order to mine way out there, I'll need to buy at least a few territories to make it that far. We'll see if we do that. Curious to know. So with that one being that one, I think these are, yeah, these are both the same location, just different sides of it. And then the next one's way out here. Which, okay, it's on this side, where the other one was over there on that hill. So maybe this would be the next one we build to, because I'm pretty sure territory-wise, we're pretty close. We'd get this one or this one, and then we'd be immediately able to buy that. Okay. And then we can mine out there. But I guess we'll have to wait until the bailiff finishes the current prospecting being done. But if it's more gold, maybe we go with that, because we're going to need that for our smelters to keep going. And the more quarries we have, the more likely we are to get gems, because there's not like a gem mine you can have or a gem quarry. You'll just randomly find them in quarries with other resources. So in order to have jewelry, we're going to need what's known as a jeweler's workshop. And this one does not cause undesirable housing space, but it does need to be within a lightly fortified space. Which is any of these purple bits. We're gonna put it here, I think. And have the door be right there. Done. So for 1 gold bar and 1 gem, it makes 2 pieces of jewelry, which I can then make as a luxury item, or sell as a luxury item in a marketplace. Okay, 5 more workers there, so we got a total of 6 unemployed. I imagine we'll probably be able to fit 1 or 2 in a jeweler's workshop. How are we doing on employment otherwise? Villagers. No, buildings, I think. I can fit 1 more woodcutter over in that lumber camp way on the other side, so we'll fit 1 there. And while we're at it, can we expand this at all? Sure can. At least a bit. These guys are all just waiting because they have too much wood on hand. They can't do any more work. So, I think we need a storage space, a warehouse over here to hold more wood, or a sawmill to turn it into planks. I think let's go with a sawmill. It's probably going to be a more likely way to continuously get those out of the way. If I put that there, it does not expand too far into the housing space, so that's great. Let's have it right like that. Done. Great. All of those are adequately patrolled. You know what? Let's go ahead and expand it a little bit to out here. Make sure that one's also doubled up. Okay. More here. And a guy here. Wool for the bishop. The bishop has sought to purchase wool ever since some monks were too strict on their vows to the point of becoming threadbare. Having spotted your flock of sheep, one of his merchants wishes to make you an offer. So I currently have 140 wool in storage. They want 200 in order to give me money and clergy influence. But I've already got a good amount of clergy influence. But I could haggle for more as far as a better deal. Let's go ahead, might as well. Alright, offering a much better deal. So instead of 300 coins, I'll get 600 if I can make sure that it happens. If the deal doesn't go through within the 15-day limit that it says, there's no negative consequence, so we might as well accept it. Now, until I have more wool, that's not something I can complete. I've only got 170 in storage, and I need 200. But it's likely that they'll take it out of storage to turn it into cloth and then clothing. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, we're going to come to this marketplace. We're going to expand it with a luxury goods stall right here in the middle. And for luxury, I don't know, let's put a little blue tent. I want to make sure that the walking space is still relatively walkable. Okay. And I could put a sign, luxury goods. I also just want to make sure that that's not going to be an issue of spacing. So we'll just put it on the other side of the walking space and say, it's this one right here. Okay. Now from there, this is not quite done, but it's close. It's being built as we speak. But then he decided to take a break, which is fine. It's now being finished up by a different builder. Great. We're going to get 2 jewelers immediately. Your regular needs are met, so we're going to upgrade you to commoner. We're going to do the same for you. Just because this job is best suited to a citizen, but the further away they are from that particular classification, the lower productivity that they're gonna have to do that job. Okay, another person here. And it looks like that one's already done, so we're going to assign jewelry there. And a new person. We're doing okay on bread. And a decent amount of beer, but that might just be left over from our trade that we had before. We got a brewery there and a brewery there. This is a job that's also best suited to Citizen, which means he's working particularly slow. I'll upgrade you to Commoner. What about you? You're already a Commoner. Great. So, if I wanted to make these people more productive, because I have the money to promote them, I want to make sure that they have houses that they'll be happy in. I think I need to make these beautified areas, because I think since I expanded out a little bit further with housing, oh, that's not what I wanted. I need some decoration to make these spaces more welcoming. Let's not go with that one. Let's go with a little brazier here. Let's put it right there. Now currently it doesn't help any of these houses hit that beautification standard, but the radius of that increases the more that I add different types of things. I guess they don't even have to be different types, but put a little road sign right here. Then let's put a little bench right here. And then a little terracotta base. Yeah, the wool didn't happen. Oh, although... Yeah, I only had 170 in storage. That's fine. But that's one of those time-sensitive things that maybe I could have kept a close eye on so that if I ever did hit 200, that I could immediately accept the deal. But... Okay, we'll go with that. And then... let's go with a little tree. Where can I put this that it's going to get both? Right there. Okay, anything currently highlighted in green is already covered by that. Let's give him a little hedge. Right there. Okay, and then we need to expand over in this direction. Let's give him a hanging lantern post. Right there. Then maybe we go for a backrest bench right here. And this is not a house, so it doesn't need anything. Great. So, now that these are considered beautification areas, as long as there are commoners nearby who need housing, they'll automatically take a house, or a space in the house, and then it will be upgraded to medium quality. Now, if I wanted to upgrade them from commoner to citizen, we also need paved roads out here, which I think I have a road paver, but like way back here somewhere. Right there. And they need regular stone, which we've got an abundance of, so I think we need to make some more pavers yards. But we're going to slow down game time, because I think while I was focused on that, I probably got people that showed up to immigrate, and then I missed fully. But we got one right there. I think especially as I'm focusing on like the minutia of one area, I need to be cognizant of how fast game time is moving. Okay, we'll have another paver's yard right here. And immediately we have a builder who is assigned to work on it, so that's good news. I think we also want a paper's yard out here for the same reason. Right there. Oh, and we have the sawmill all done, so we'll throw on 3 carpenters there to make sure that they keep getting through the wood they've got, so I can expand my farmland. Okay. That should leave me with, I think, 2 unemployed people. Means that hopefully my immigration continues to increase as far as the amount of people showing up. We're going to speed up time now that we're just waiting for these 2 buildings. We're waiting for those. I'm curious to know about the amount of paved road out here. Okay, we've got a decent amount. In this main area. Guess it's close enough to a paved road that it's fine, even though this space isn't paved currently. Great, so all of these could be high quality housing the moment we get citizens. I'm curious to know. Cool. We have some jewelry there. That's been sold. So now, what about these guys? They've got their luxury. They just are still running into the issue of having enough of 3 different sources of refined food, which is just the cheese being an issue. So where's the cheese holdup? They've got a decent amount of milk on hand, so that's not necessarily the supply issue. So do they. Alright. Got a paver yard done. Got 3 people assigned to that one. But we do need to assign then road paving. We'll just cover all the roads near these houses. And then anything that's this light green is considered a residential space. And all of that's already within the paver's list of places to pave. I think so's this out here, but they can't get to it. But if I assign that here, then the paver's yard that I'm building right there will have access to it. These are also jobs that are suited to commoners, though. But you don't have housing right now. Is it just that you haven't been to your house since you've gotten... Nope, I don't know. Going to rest at house. It says your workplace is 46 meters from your home. So your house is right there. And you just got it, as far as meeting the housing requirement. And your workplace is there. So I think it's just because you were new to town that you weren't quite sure where a house was near your workplace. But you're there, so we'll upgrade you to a commoner immediately. You need rustic food, which we've got a decent amount of berries and fish, so you should be able to get relatively easily from the marketplace here. But I'll wait to upgrade you till then. And you're good, so I'll upgrade you to a commoner. Now what's your deal? Okay. You're just waiting to have enough wheat to make more flour. Because you need 4 wheat to make 1 flour. Man, that trade-off is horrendous as far as the amount of resource needed. And you're just full of iron. Can't go any faster. Okay, your needs are met here, but we're going to need to have high quality housing nearby in order to promote you to citizen. So we'll leave you alone for now until these actually have to pave roads for you to be able to stay in. Now we've got a paver's yard here. Okay, game speed stopped again. My guess is something here happened that was like, okay, just so you don't keep missing stuff, here is a recommendation to slow things down. Surplus of advanced material. So again, they're pretty happy about the amount of resources I have. In this case, not just plain wood and plain stone, but planks and polished stone. So we get a happiness bonus for that. Okay. I think now that those buildings are built, we can slow game speed down a little so I don't miss stuff. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, often we'll have visitors out here. Okay, great. Nothing that I'm missing as far as that goes. Oh, but I'm sure I missed the message of what we prospected. Let me take a look at that real quick. Bailiff. Where the bailiff? Bailiff only found stone. Great. So while I could theoretically create, I think it's this right here, the, like, build my territory out there in order to mine it, this one, I don't think it's worth it currently. I could prospect the others and see what they are, but I think I will start by prospecting over on this side to be more accessible for me. So we're going to go to mandates. We are going to... not this one, not this one, but this one. We're going to prospect there. Yeah, great. Okay, we've got some pavers available there. And they are new. So they don't have housing assigned yet because they didn't have a workplace to know where to have a house. But we've got open housing out there, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I just wanted to make sure, are these considered... Yes, I've beautified this area already, so they can be upgraded to medium quality at any time as soon as we have commoners out here in these houses. So in that case, let's actually just go ahead and promote you. Because that means that at least one of these houses will automatically start being upgraded to medium quality. I guess as soon as you, as soon as they get to their workplace and decide what house they're staying in. Great, we've got some paving done with these. This one doesn't quite have enough of the paved road around it to count, but this one does. So, let's go ahead and go back to, who was it here? The brewer. And we're going to upgrade you to citizen. And while we're at it, let's go ahead to this marketplace and throw on a luxury goods stall. Which way is considered the front? I don't know. Oh. I imagine that's the display side. With the fun little tail on it. And let's say that it's green. And then throw on a little sign that says luxury goods stall right next to it. And then just for the decor, let's get a little ground brazier. Is like the center of that marketplace, because that will help us increase our labor splendor. So we currently have more than 30 houses in high density. We've got good happiness. We need a city belfry, which we can't get to until we have 300 labor splendor, which we're close. We're at 294. And then I'll have to spend 50 of my labor influence to unlock it. Then I'll have to actually spend to build it. But then I can get taxes for smithing and for drinking, which is great. Ooh, we could get some mining taxes right now and some... We get a tavern kitchen. I'm going to hold off on that for now because I haven't had an issue of the happiness of people visiting the tavern. We can get a city market. The market hall, which lets you provide resources to densely populated areas. Ooh. Okay. So many things, and I've only got 50 labor influence to spend. So I think we'll start with the market. Yeah. Because then maybe I don't need to make individual stalls. Which would be nice. Especially as I'm expanding out further and this marketplace is way in here. We could just have one here. Let's start with one out here because it's much further from the current marketplace. Okay, city market. I'm gonna make a market hall. Storing and trading rustic food, refined food, goods, luxury, and luxurious food. Cool. Okay. Don't want it to be in such a way that it's like overlapping a ton of other stuff, but we still want it accessible. I think we're gonna go ahead and build it right here. Hopefully that's not gonna get too much in that farm space. And it'll be kind of tall there. Now, it has interior access because it doesn't even have a door because they're doing all the trading underneath it. But it does need one market stall. Okay, so you still need to add individual stalls to it. But it's all condensed in the same place, I guess. Okay, so we'll have food access on this one. We'll have a couple food access. Well, we'll probably need a lot of them, honestly. Oh, I guess there is a door right there to get actually inside the place. Okay. Then we'll go with some city goods. We'll put those here, maybe? Okay. Right there. And I just don't want to take up too much space by having tents. But it looks like these are much larger, so it's possible that maybe they double up. No, they do not. We could pretend like that's all part of the same system. Yeah, that works for me. Can I... Okay, you can only stick it on the one side of it. That's fine. Okay. So there's 3 food, 1 city goods. We'll go with another city goods. Because I need to sell a couple different items to people. And then we'll go with a luxury option. Oh, you can just connect them right here. That's kind of neat. Maybe I want to do that for some of these. We'll have a luxury right there. And we'll actually have this food one be right there. Well, maybe we don't want the tent. We'll have food on that side. And that should be fine because it doesn't reduce or destroy this house. Oh, except I think the hill makes it so it's inaccessible from the one side. No, don't move the whole thing. Just this. Okay, that should be fine. Hopefully that there's not too much walking traffic to reduce the field size here. And I think for that possible problem, I'm not going to worry about putting these two inside that. Okay. And for the sake of having more splendor, this is a goods stall. This is another goods stall right here. This is a luxury goods right there. And we'll throw on a little brazier here. And oh boy, somehow we ran out of, I mean, not ran out of money, but we ran out of the excess we had. Meaning, I think that's 345. Sometimes that red color against the gray is hard for me to read from a distance. As soon as we got that, we can hit go on this, but until then, we can't do much building of it. There it is. Done. And that gave us enough labor splendor that we have reached tier 5 in the progression. So as soon as I have the labor influence, I can consider these things here. I think I'm going to start by getting these ones, though. At least these two. Maybe not the tavern kitchen yet. And these ones just cost coins. Alright. Every time that I kind of get like a groove going as far as like, wow, we're making some real progress, all of a sudden my treasury runs dry because it just takes money to make those strides. So, you know, I'm making it work. Okay, great. All of those roads are paved enough. Where do you live? Oh, it's currently being upgraded to the... Oh. Yeah, no, to high quality. It's currently in the process of that, I think. So as soon as that's done, you'll be happy to live here, and that's great. Not the one that I would have thought would have happened for that, but I guess since you were already living there, that should have been the one that I could have assumed would be upgraded. Okay, we have a brewer here. Where do you live? Right here. And that house can be upgraded immediately, so we're gonna go ahead, as soon as we have money. I think that was my issue. I ran out of my, my coffers ran dry because it costs 100 to upgrade each person from commoner to citizen, and I think I did that with too many people at once. But that's alright. It also doesn't help that in building all of these buildings all at once, they cost quite a bit of money, so we're coming along. Okay, we got some more people here. We've got a more marketplace here. We're gonna make a jewelry to go there, and then somebody to man the stall. Did I miss if this got done or not, or is it still in process? Still in progress. Okay. Fast forward time a little bit for the sake of that, and also this marketplace being built out here. Oh, didn't mean to slow it down that much. Okay. We're about to be done. We'll get a little message saying what they found. Why are you walking through my wheat fields? If you're gonna trade, go through the cow fields or something. I don't know if functionally it changes anything about the amount of wheat output that I have if people make a little, like, walking path through it. Iron deposit. Oh boy, I definitely need that. Well, let's see. I've got a decent amount of iron just on hand. Both iron ore and, like, fully smelted. And I could sell iron bars. Maybe? I cannot sell iron bars. Nobody is buying them. So the good thing is I can make them into, I think currently the only thing I have is tools, and I can sell tools. So we will go to middle. Well, we'll go to the royal book. We'll look at our tools. We might already be selling. Nope, I say that I'm buying up to 100. We are going to sell anything past 140. So that we still have enough on hand to build our buildings, but that's going to hopefully help us get through our iron supply. Going to somewhere around here, I've got the blacksmith who's making tools. Okay, interesting. These ones are not being patrolled nearly enough. I actually think with this one, instead of having it expand all the way out there, well, maybe we'll leave it, we'll see. Maybe we want to, oh, too large there. I think let's take away from these far houses from this particular patrol. Hopefully they'll still have enough coverage. Are these houses? They are not. These are not either. Where's a house? These ones? You've got to be a house. Okay. Yeah, okay. And these also are. need another patrol. Oh, okay. That's right. This is the watch post here. Does not have a lot of people working in it. So we're going to expand this one, actually. Just to allow for more workers to cover those few houses that are not taken care of otherwise. And I think we'll just throw on an extra 4 there should probably do it. Yeah, I'm good with that. Change the color of the roof just for fun. Make it a yellow one. And then, as far as decor goes, just because we always need more of that, let's get them little barrels out here out front for storage. Sure. And as soon as we've got the money, because that's our issue right now, we can make those changes. I hear a horse coming. Okay, hold on. Wool for the bishop. Okay, are we going to try this again? We've got 200 in storage, which is what you need. We are going to haggle for a better deal. Going to get 600 instead of 300 for it, and we will immediately accept that. And now we've got the money to make that adjustment there. Now what about this marketplace? Got people assigned. Well, let's go ahead and see what we can do with the bailiff. We can improve some trade routes. I think let's improve the middle one, since they're the ones who are going to be buying tools from us. We'll take 5 turns and 100 polished stone. And then our trade route with them, I think we get better deals, and also they will buy and sell more items at once. Okay. Surplus polished stones that I just spent for beer. Okay, they need 100 within the next 28 days. I've got 45 in storage right now. There's a 50-50 chance if I try to barter or to haggle that it will be better or worse. Or maybe they just won't even accept it. Let's go ahead and accept it, because again, if I don't meet it, it's not the end of the world, but having that beer on hand will be nice. And it gives us a whole 28 days to do it, so I'm hopeful. Man, do we just not have butchers working fast enough? Guess not. Oh, you're a serf? We'll upgrade you to a commoner. Make you work more productively. What do you mean you don't have housing? Maybe you just haven't been there recently. No, it says you don't have a house. Is there no space in any houses nearby? I guess there are no houses nearby enough to the butchery to count. Are you guys also upset about housing? No? So what's your deal, man? Do I just need to wait till you're on break to figure out what house you're going to live in, or do I need to be concerned? Okay. You're currently fetching beer. And then will you go to your house? Worried about you, my guy. Okay, I forgot that while I was looking down here and then found that I wanted to expand that I was actually looking for the blacksmith. They are working at 100% capacity, and they're just slow, I think. So maybe we need to make another blacksmith, which requires more coal. but we're doing okay, hovering around 300. Okay. You just got your entertainment needs met. You're on free time. Are you gonna go to a house? Oh, you do have a house. It's this one right here that's being upgraded to medium quality. So, good. Good, good. Okay. I guess this one that says that it takes 5 days maybe happens 5 days after my bailiff actually makes it to middle? I don't know. Confused where my bailiff is during that job. So, yep, leaving our place in order to communicate with middle. And I'm guessing now the timer starts of the 5 days. Yep, and then they'll come back. Okay. Well, we're going to slow that down then, and we're going to make another blacksmith. We'll put him right nearby, I think. Might as well have him neighboring. Well, we've got iron coming out here, but then I think we also have iron smelting and mining out on this side of town. So let's have a blacksmith over here, so that they don't need to bring these iron bars all the way across. And we'll do it right like that. Yeah. I think it doesn't help that there's only a single blacksmith per building, which means they can only work so fast. I guess there's 2 of them, but still. Not great output. Cheese, we're still pretty low. But not because they don't have an okay amount of milk. My guess is 3 dairy farms and 2 cheesemakers are enough to kind of keep them all occupied without a ton of, like, waiting time. But, so like 3 fields to 2 cheeses. I don't know if adding another, like, cheesemaker would be helpful. Another dairy farm would probably be fine. In order to keep them, like, maximum holding on to as much milk as they can to turn into cheese. Okay, this is done. Okay, so just like any storage space, we've got storage capacity, and we have market stalls. So here we're going to sell berries, and fish, and meat. I guess we've only got the 3 food sources here, so I'll need to add some more food stalls if I want to increase that. But a common clothes, and a common wares, and in our luxury we'll do jewelry. But in order to do all of those, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people working here, and we've only got the 4, so there's our 6. And we have 1 transporter who can actually bring things to storage here. And, okay, so it looks like storage can be... It's not just limited to, like, a warehouse where it's non-food items, or to a granary where it's just food items. You can do all of them. So we'll do some berries, we'll do some fish, to make it so that easy access for the market to use. We'll have some of each of those. We'll also do bread, meat, and cheese. And let's go with common clothes for now. I guess in order to store more, I will need to get another building to add more storage space. But what's interesting enough about this is it holds 6 different items and a total of 1,200 things. So that means that each of them holds 200 instead of the normal 100 in a storage space. But there's only one person to transport that stuff, so it's not going to go particularly quickly. Okay. We got 18 days to hit 100 polished stone in storage to get our beer. Okay, and it looks like the wall's done. It's doing the same thing that it did when I first started building a wall on the other side of town where there's this bit in red. I assume that means it's just unhappy that it's like maybe slightly encroaching on the neighboring territory border that I don't own. But I've not got a message about it, so I shouldn't be too concerned. At least I think. So I do think it's interesting that there's no grate to allow for water to go through, so this is technically a dam, but it doesn't actually, like, dam anything up, so that's fine. Great, our trade route with Middle has been increased to level 3. And now I'm going to send you to prospect more in the area where there was the iron. Hopefully we'll find good materials out there. Because the more gold, I think, the better, as far as luxury items. But it also wouldn't necessarily be a negative thing to find more quartz to make more glass. Because right here we've got a glass smelter here and one here. And our glass here is almost full. And out here, okay, so we've got a good amount of output there. Oh, that's right, I've got a blacksmith here, which we can assign 1 because that's all that we had on hand, but that's better than nothing. And you just need a house near your job. Got all sorts of housing out here that could be upgraded to medium quality at any time, so we're actually going to promote you. And with you guys, your needs are met, so let's go ahead and promote you so that you can become more efficient at your job. And we'll assign 1 to the blacksmith out here. And then we'll assign 1 to be a transporter out here at this marketplace. Market hall. A courier is approaching the village, says the message board. That's you, on your horse, speeding so quick up my road. Okay. Celebrating bread. We could host a bread fair again. Still got a good amount of it, which isn't necessary for this, but it'll help with our happiness and give us some more labor splendor. not splendor, labor influence, which is important to upgrade my technologies. I could order them to work double. There's a 70% chance that that will be better. Like, we'll be able to produce more bread. I think the issue is it's not that our bakers don't work fast enough. It's that we go through cycles of them having enough resources to even make the bread. See, because they're just out of flour right now. So I won't risk it. It would be nice to have more bread, but I think that simplifies the issue quite a bit to where we could order them to work faster, but there's nothing for them to work with. Okay, we got 6 days left, and we have 99 polished stone in storage, so we should be able to accept this deal here shortly. Done. We got our beer. Yeah, and these gold smelters are just running out of gold ore to have on hand. Since you can only have 4 miners working at a time, they're not producing enough. The reason I made 2 in the first place is because we had so much backed up, but then we went through it all. Slow things down, if only because I'm not currently sure of what I want to do next. Okay, still within the process of prospecting out there for different mining things. Oh boy! Okay, so they have cut down quite a few trees since I looked last. So we're going to expand this field, and that is considered adequately sized for the amount of workers I've got. Now, curious to know how that's impacting our overall production. We've got a good amount of wheat on hand. So if we go to our mill, we got a couple of them. Where's the mill? Right there. Okay, so they've got a good amount of wheat just in their space. They just can't get through it fast enough. So I think we might need another windmill. I can spell, I promise. I just had my fingers on the wrong keys. And we'll go ahead and put a windmill right here. And, ooh, we could store additional output resources. Well, we never have enough flour currently to even hold on to excess, but just in case we get to that point, I'll throw one over here. Okay, done. Get more people. Sure did. Didn't need to click on that. Okay. Yeah, we'll assign all of them there. Then, what are we looking like at storage space here? What does it take to make common wares? Is it polished stone? Or is it iron? Let's see if it just tells me if I hover over it. I don't need to track it necessarily, but will it tell me how it's made? Sure won't. Alright. Common wares. 1 iron and 3 planks. So that's also a good output for my iron. I'll make another one of these, I think. Where's my current one? I want to make sure that I'm making it on, like, equally on both sides of my territory. Go to the book. Look at buildings. Sort by name. Common wares. Oh, literally right here. But they are working terribly as far as productivity, so we will promote both of them. Then I think we'll make a common wares workshop out here next to this iron situation. And it also has to be within a fortified spot, like that. Bailiff found some marble. That's good because so far I haven't really found a ton of use for marble other than just selling it, so that's gonna just be another source of trade and income, which will be nice. You have your needs met, so we're gonna upgrade you to a commoner. You don't currently have any coal on hand since it's all being used, I think. We're going to switch you over to just be planks. So that way, hopefully, we'll get these planks out of the way, which will make it so that wood cutting can keep happening. Because I think I could expand further. Maybe I can't expand the workload here further, but I could make another wheat farm if I need. Okay. I don't have people, I guess, I'm able to assign out currently. Whether that's because the building's not done or because I already assigned out the 4 existing unemployed people is yet to be seen. But normally it means the second one. We're going to take wood cutting away from this. Well, I guess we'll have it able to cut down that tree there. Let's actually scale down here to match that space, but then cut it out of there. And then don't need those trees cut because there are no trees there. Is this still considered... Okay, nope. There are no boars there, so we can cut down all those trees. Actually, I think I want to keep this wood cutting space available for these charcoal burners, since we're running lower on that than we are on wood. Can I move this building? The entire sub-building, is that a thing? Hold left click on arrows to manipulate. Shift to, okay. Double click to select all connected parts. Are they not considered connected? They sure aren't. At least those ones are, but the extended stuff is not. So, we'll move this main one first. too far from the main camp. Okay. I want them to be more out towards those trees to make... So they'll stick there and these guys will stay here. But that might be too much work. Let's clear the changes for now. This highlights the entire thing. Nope, cancel that. But that's just if I click on the message itself. Replace. I don't want to replace the tent that currently exists. Would be nice if I could just like click and drag. Control A to select all parts of a monument. Is this considered a monument? Control A. Oh boy. Oh good. Oh goody. So that is doable. I think that was only recently added as part of an update, so I'm happy with that. And it costs a decent amount to move it, but not a terrible amount. We're going to apply those changes. Which means that immediately, this is no longer a regular workplace for wood. And this one will need to be built. 4 builders are already bringing resources, which is great. And these guys are doing cutting. I think we're going to expand the wood cutting space though, so that you don't have to run all the way out there. Although currently they can't cut much because they're waiting on space. Cut down these trees. Also move those sawmills if needed, but for now we'll leave them there and see. Okay, so it looks like even partially built, it can still produce, like people can still be cutting trees. So that's good to know. But I will say this might affect the housing that they live in, because they used to live in houses that were close to where they were. They might have had to shift, or they'll be upset about it. But I think they just automatically shift if there's a closer house when their workplace moves. If I paint, let's actually say that wood cutting. Get all of this space. Yeah, we'll just clear that entire thing. Don't know how far they'll actually end up going, but yeah, we'll start with that. Okay, now how are we doing on wheat? We have 0 wheat. Even without an additional mill, we've run out of wheat. So it is one of those things that through the different cycles and the different seasons, we still just have to deal with that ebb and flow of how much we have on hand. Neat. Well, I think maybe we leave the mill empty for now. I'll throw 1 person on there so that it doesn't keep giving me a little message saying that there's no workers assigned. Then, see if that common wares space out here is built. That's the jeweler's workshop. Here's the common wares. Nope, I lied. Nope, still not done. But I'll assign some workers there. have the bread fair here shortly. I've expanded all of my workload outward so much that I just have all of these big, high-density houses that are still relatively empty because all of the workers are working in spaces that are further out. So that's also something that I guess I'll be aware of for future playthroughs, is considering which ones actually need to be made high density and which ones don't, while also trying to keep as condensed as possible to make sure that the workflow overall is maintained pretty well. So, just gonna look at... Nice, fair's done. How are we doing? Okay, we used too many tools, I think, for us to even have a surplus for selling. But hopefully we'll have enough common wares, maybe. Got 141 on hand right now. As soon as this one's built, we'll hopefully be able to maintain even more. I think common wares... Let's see if serfs even need that type of thing. Nope, generally doesn't look like it. So that's something that only starts being required when you become a commoner. Which, common wares, commoner, yeah, okay, makes sense. So close, come on, get that one done. As soon as this building is done, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I will be back in about 5 minutes, depending on how long it takes my dog to take care of his business, so. Okay, yeah, see, we've just hit the point where they're harvesting all the wheat, so we've got 200 on hand. But the mills, I guess, can chew through that pretty quick, which is great. I guess the mills and also the breweries, because they also use wheat. Okay, done. Assign 2 of them there. But we are going to promote both of you because you work more productively at that level. Still not fully productively as much as I would want, but I don't want to get ahead of myself by assigning too many people to be citizens. Okay, slowing speed down, and then I'm pausing it, and then I will switch you over here to just a fun little be right back menu, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, we've got those common wares workers, common wares makers assigned. We're just getting a new influx of immigration. We're already at almost 500 people. That's crazy. And it looks like this is mostly done. I think maybe we do want to move sawmills. If mostly just for the sake of having it nearby, so that they don't have to walk as far to grab their logs. Let's go ahead and move this one too. Now, why isn't our forester keeping up? Is it just that they're mainly getting this area and that's enough? So then we don't even need this space out here? I think maybe so. So let's go ahead and get rid of your reforestation area here. Looks like maybe you've been able to plant trees up to that point, but not really consistently any further, so we'll stick with that, I think. And I think these are in a space where nobody can actually get to them because they're technically on the rocks. But that should be easily doable. In fact, let's actually cut it back. This should be easily coverable by these charcoal burners. So I will go into wood cutting also. And I guess we'll cut this for now since we've still got trees there. But then we won't have to worry about all this space out here. And this area is too small for the amount of workers. Oops, I guess I never fixed that. So we're going to expand out here. That's too large. Great. And hopefully that'll also help with keeping enough wheat on hand for the off-season. But we'll see. Okay, we'll assign a couple more transporters here. And I think let's go ahead and have a gathering hut out here as well, because that way we'll have berries that are closer that can be brought over to that storage space. And I don't think it can hurt to have more because we just keep getting more and more people here. In fact, let's actually just make 2 of them. See, now these ones, because there's a lot of workspace out here, there's quite a few that are just absolutely full. So that was a good choice to have this all be high density. Alright. Okay, I forgot that our bailiff came back with marble. And we'll send them one more time out to that same place in order to see what other resources out there. But we've got a good amount of money at the moment that we are going to expand out that way. And I think we will start by taking this one for 100. And the upkeep every month is now 65 for these. Yeah, we'll go ahead and grab that one too. Now, unfortunately, I will have to make more housing out in that space so that those miners will not be upset about not having housing nearby. But we got marble here and iron here. So I guess first of all, let's create a builder's workshop. So we don't have anyone nearby. Let's put one like here, since I think we're going to be expanding in this direction quite a bit. Although I don't want to take... Yeah, okay. There's perfect. We'll assign some builders here. And then we'll come out to the marble one, and we will make it a quarry. You can always throw 2 of those on there. Then we can throw small cranes on for some more labor splendor. Should be space for a 3rd one normally. But it's not latching on anywhere, and I'm not seeing a circle that says it can be added, so I guess I won't worry about it. We'll throw on a couple of cranes to have additional storage space. And then we'll throw on a couple carts too for the same reason, but those ones hold very little. Okay, so that is assigned to be built. And we have an iron one right there, which again, it's not like we need, but the more quarries we have, the more likely we are to find jewels or gems, which is what's needed to have jewelry, so... Come on, there we go. Okay. See if this one will fit 3 tiny cranes on it. Yeah, okay, 1 on the side. Maybe it was there on the other one and I just missed it. Okay, some cranes. Don't think we need more storage, so we'll stick with that. We'll buy it. I'm gonna go back to this one and edit just to see if I can throw one of those decor things over here on the side somewhere. Nope, still no. Okay, never mind. Leave it as it is. Now, as those get built, I imagine that people are going to want housing nearby, so we will go to our residential space, and we will paint some housing, let's say right here, so it's not so near to any of those that they're going to be upset by the amount of undesirable workspace. In fact, I think, let's see if we can shape this a little bit so that they're more likely to be on that side of it. Oh wait, no, never mind. That's like right through the middle of the current walkway that exists. Don't want that. Because that's the edge of my territory. So, with the pathway kind of being right there, let's say housing is going to be like right here. Yeah, because their pathway's going that way. That's probably going to be a good enough space. And while we're at it, I think we're going to want a manor house that makes a watch post. And we're just going to make it a tower because a fun thing about towers in this game is they do have an area of what's called light fortification. So instead of me having to deal with that some other way, as long as I have this nearby, hold on, we're going to go to visibility, zoning areas. Okay, so let's say that we take a tower here. Let's go with a major one. Let's build it up from here. It will expand that range outward to fully cover all of the housing that I have there. I think that just about does it. Yeah, that'll do it. Makes a very tall tower, maybe too expensive. That looks obnoxious. You know what? Just for the sake of making a space that looks nice, I think that's more reasonable. In fact, let's actually cut it down even more, because we're still mostly covered. That looks better. Okay. And then let's go with a little short gate here. And we're going to build that as is. And that way no houses will be built underneath it, but if I can get on top of having it where I want it, then all of those should be covered and be able to be upgraded to medium density pretty quickly. Okay, now we're going to take off that view here. Let's see, just a second. Don't mind me. Okay. Iron ore. Oh, perfect. I got plenty of that. 800. They're looking for iron ore as a nearby village is dramatically running low on tools. One of their merchants has seen my quarry. I could sell 250 for 375 gold. I could possibly haggle a better deal. I think I'm going to, because it's 90% that it's going to be better. And then they'll give me 750. So I need to spend some immediately to make that even not immediately exceed my treasury. So I got 15 days to make that work. I just need to spend quite a bit of money. I guess not quite a bit, but a decent amount. What are some buildings that I've unlocked? I could expand that market over there. I think maybe I'm going to do that. Or I could just pay to research some things real quick. A cooperage might be good. I don't have a way to get wax, so there's no point in doing candles, because wax comes from the monastery, which I can't build in this scenario. I'm going to say let's go ahead and unlock all of these tier 3 things. And that's 300 out of my pocket, which means that should just about, like, that's enough for me to take that deal. While I'm at it, I'm going to unlock one of these two, because it can't hurt to have a little bit more wiggle room. Okay, I'm accepting this deal immediately. This is for the decorations one that I did. Then I think I did the one more, which should show up right now. Maybe? Oh, I've hit my maximum amount of people. No, maybe that's just saying maximum amount of immigration that I can have. Okay, never mind. Okay, ore got delivered. So I'm going to scroll and look for exclamation points to let me know what's new. Yeah, new decor, that's great. Ooh. All sorts of options, cool. A tall banner. Basin. Man, these are great. Okay, and then stone bridges, which aren't a bad option. What was the sculpture thing that I got? Sculpt. Is that not a thing? Or do they just naturally do that? The creation of sculptures produces sculpture in a sculpture workshop. Okay. Does that not exist? I'm confused. If I look up workshop. Doesn't currently exist in my thing, even though I've unlocked it. Does it require some kind of, like, prior thing? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Ooh, we could improve our common wares options. How are we doing on common wares? $148. Okay, not bad. So sculptures are an option to have, it's just not working. No access to goods, what do you mean? Uh-oh. So they don't have common clothes or common wares space. Common clothes we got 100, common wares 150. And here at this one, they're selling common wares and common clothes, so you're within walking distance to a market that sells it, so I'm not too concerned about it. Imagine it just means that you're going to have to spend your free time doing that. Common clothes here, but you don't have any on hand. And you don't sell common wares in this space. So let's actually expand this one as well to sell common wares, which is going to be a goods stall. We'll do it across the street over here. Let's say that that's going to be a blue one. Why not? With a goods stall sign. Done. 5 people showed up. Assign a patroller and a watchman out here, even though we don't currently have houses because nobody wants to live out here until these are built and we have workers assigned to them. That's right, the gathering huts. Okay, we'll do 2 here and 1 there. And that's all 5 of our new people. Now, from there... Another second. Right. We're still about halfway through on that final prospecting in that section. Oh, that's right, we have a patroller assigned, but no space for them to go because there's no houses. We'll just set up your patrol to be here. Apparently it's not going to do anything, but eventually it will. Alright. In fact, if we expand it to the outside of the residential, hopefully that means that even the outer edges will get a little bit more coverage. Right, let's see here. Okay. Okay, and there's no sawmill upgrades, which means we can't add on to those buildings to make more space for workers. Okay, with the amount of money we have, are there any buildings that are working suboptimally that would work better? Oh, that's right. We could have another builder at that one as soon as we have more workers on hand. Oh, that's right. Here I could change it. We are now, instead of any of these other things, we can consider ourselves a city. And instead of a pioneer, I'm a burgomaster. Or I could be a lord or an elder, a mayor. Let's be mayor. Mayor Tenacious Tanner. Done. Fast forward time to hopefully get more people showing up. And also to see what that final resource is that's being prospected. Oh, I forgot. Oh no, you have access. Okay. There will be people maybe on these far corners that, because there's not a tavern nearby, they're going to have an issue of entertainment. And that entertainment is also determined by the amount of berry brew and beer I have on hand. So even if I have taverns, I also need to make sure that I have the ability to keep up with alcohol. More people coming for immigration in 4 days. And we're almost done with prospecting this deposit right here. It's gold! Perfect. So we were also going to throw stuff on there. And have storage space for it. Throw some decor on there. Oh, and since I upgraded my decor options, there's also a rock holder that's just like decoration. So let's do that for fun. Right here along the base. It's doing something, I guess. Okay, done. Okay, cool. That's good that the walking path kind of goes on both sides. I guess this one originally takes you out of town as well, which is where we get some trading from. Okay, great. There's already a house here for the patroller and watchman who live out here. It's not built yet, but it's there. Oh, and each of these costs like 40 or 50 tools, so I'm running low on those. Because of course I am. Oop, and we're running low on money. And by that I mean high on money. We're running low on space for it. So really quick, I might as well expand into this territory. Because that will help a little bit with that. Did we ever get the sculptor thing? No. Why? Is that just not a thing in this scenario, maybe? I don't know. We're going to spend 50 bread to upgrade the Northbury trade route. Oh, and I have the ability to spend some stuff here. We're going to go with some tier 4 labor privilege. Now we're back down to 15 labor influence. Well, one immigrant is not great, but it's something. And we'll assign them to be a gatherer out here. A forager. And this is done enough to be able to assign workers to it, but we don't have the workers to assign, so that's fine. Of the 3 things to build where I would want to assign people sooner, I think marble would be the best one, or gold. But gold's going to be pretty slow because it's the last one that I put up. We're going to have more people coming in 7 days. They're already on their way. Don't know how many there are, but there's at least 3 in that group. In fact, I'm going to do a little snooping. There's exactly 3 in that group. Now we're going to slow it down again so I can keep an eye on what's going on out here. We're just not getting our quartz fast enough now to smelt any more glass. But I do have 100 in storage here. Got 171 in total. Not bad. Especially where I'm not selling it. Oh, but I can make stained glass with it. Which, before I consider that, what is stained glass used for? Is it even on this list? Maybe it doesn't show up until I can even make it. But then you have things like manuscripts, which I didn't realize I could make. It's also confusing how these are organized, because you would think maybe alphabetical. It seems like maybe how basic they are to get and how quickly you'll get them. I don't know if that's entirely true either, because stone's way down here. Well, regardless, I have nothing else that I'm doing with glass other than just having a little bit on hand for some of these higher quality buildings. So let's go with a stained glass. Excuse me? I researched it, but I don't have the ability to make it. Glass. Yeah, I just have a glass smelter. Interesting. So I'm curious to know if that's a bug or if it's just part of this scenario that I don't need it, so it doesn't give me the option to make it. I don't know. Weird. I'll have to look it up and see, I guess. Okay, 2 of you are immediately going to be assigned out here to work on the marble, because the gold's nowhere near enough to allow you to work on it. And we could have another iron person, but I think we're okay for now. The only reason why I'd want him to get working is maybe to find more gemstones. And I think our berry supply is precarious enough that I'm going to just want another forager. Okay, interesting. Now one of the traders is coming from that side. I don't know if that's because I accidentally walled off another path for them, or that's just their quickest way to get to my storage space. Oh, that's right. We have this one. We're assigning common wares, and we need another worker here. But I just assigned all 3 of them out, so... Oh well, we'll get there. At least as far as happiness goes, the least happy is at 69%, which is not bad at all. In fact, you might say it's nice. Okay. Are our butchers just not keeping up? We've got a good amount of meat on hand. But it seems like most of our hunters' huts are just full. I say most. One of them is full. But I think it might just be because that one's not near a butchery, so it takes a lot of work for a butcher to walk over there. So maybe we do need another butchery. As long as it's not affecting any nearby houses, right there should be great. Done. Okay, now with that edict, it was here in the book. I come over to edicts and privileges. Got an empty slot here. Could reduce the cost of upkeep. One more concurring tax without penalty. I can unlock merchandising taxes on the market stalls. I think I want to do that. Let's have merchandise taxes. Well, currently I don't have an issue with money, but I guess I can spend more indiscriminately if I have taxes available. So currently, if I go to my taxation menu, we're going to be able to tax all 28 of the market stalls that currently exist. And I should not set to build anything else until I get more people, because I'm going to need to assign more patrollers and watchmen out here. I'm going to need to assign 2 iron miners, 2 gold miners, as well as 2 butchers, somebody at this marketplace, and another gatherer, I think, forager. So now I just need to spend my money. Let's go to mandates. Oh, that's right, you're in the process right now of doing that one. Okay. I think then we are going to expand our territory some more to connect on this side. I own 30 territories. There's a little Steam achievement for me. Okay, as far as... yeah, okay. Our coal production's definitely dropped off. Part of that may have to do with I have let this kind of run rampant over here to where they probably don't even have stuff to cut, do they? Not a ton. So let's get this forester to expand off in this direction as well. I don't know if that's too much work for him, but I think maybe that'll help. And then we'll take wood cutting, and that doesn't change much, but just for my own personal sense of making it feel nice and look right. Okay. Now we've got all 3 of those charcoal huts working. I may even need another forester, but for right now we'll stick with this. Ooh, maybe we don't want to take all that out. Okay, let's actually... Oop. Take that space. And then we'll go back to wood cutting and erase that much. Done. Okay. Now back to the original thought of we need more coal. I cannot build that yet. I'm going to hold off on it. But it will be probably the next thing I try to do. Surplus cloth for beer. I do have a decent amount of cloth on hand. They need 300? I don't think that's going to happen. As much as I would want it to. I guess I'll accept it because, again, there's no negative thing to it, and it takes 28 days, or it gives me 28 days for it. But 300 cloth, I think, is more than I've ever had at once. So I don't know that that's going to be possible. But let me see, based on my storage spaces, we're going to swap this one to cloth. And then there's storage up here. I'll swap this one to cloth as well. Okay, with my 4 people I just barely got, we're going to assign 1 to this marketplace. We're going to assign 2... Yeah, gold's not done yet. Let's go with 1 iron miner here. And our last one is going to be up here at the gathering hut. Okay, so that one's considered lightly fortified with the tower, but its patrol has not yet hit the point that we could make it medium density because the patroller doesn't stick around long enough to make it happen. We also need to make sure they can access food. And the basics. I won't worry too much about it at the moment, but their marketplace is pretty far away, whether it's that one or this one. Well, is the glass, the stained glass, like a sub-building of... No, there's a glass smelter and then a separate one called the stained glass workshop. And both of those have been unlocked, that and the sculpture workshop. I'm gonna look up and see sculptures and stained glass. Some buildings may require those. They can be built at the Builder's Workshop. That's my issue. They are sub-buildings of the Builder's Workshop. So, I have a Builder's Workshop out here somewhere. Right here. We can edit. Stained glass workshop. Let's go with a sculpture one first. If only because we only have a limited amount of glass on hand to make it a stained glass. Right now we've only got 178. And this one has not told me what kind of material it uses. I imagine probably marble, but we'll see. But you know what? Since we have a sculpture one, let's go ahead and add a stained glass one as well. Put it right here. I know I said I wasn't going to build anymore, but oops, I did it again. And I think when we get our next group of immigrants, I will call the stream there. So, yeah. We're definitely making progress and expanding outward, but man, it takes time. And our trade route with Northbury got improved. Is there anything else I can have my bailiff do right now? Let's go ahead and spend 50 to have you go do some prospecting in that area that we don't have within our lands yet. Oh boy, and our coffers are full. Okay, who's working at a lower standard than they could be? Buildings. Do I have somebody on hand to do that? I guess so, according to this. Is there a different place I'd rather? Nobody at the gold quarry. We have an iron quarry where nobody's working. Oh, did they leave? Oh no, there's just space for 2 more people to work here. Okay, cool. Well, there's that. New immigrants are just about to show up. What am I spending my money on? I'm going to go into the progression menu and buy some city stone bridge, some tier 4 decorations, common wares improvement, and tier 5 decorations. Now that keeps us well below the amount of money that's going to be a concern. Got 4 more people. And now that they're here, I'm going to assign them, and then that will be the end of the stream. Okay. There's all 4 of our people assigned out. And there we are. Alright, well, save that as it is. And thank you very much for joining. I am going to see, we'll see how it works out, if I can figure out how to do a rating option here. Where normally I have been kind of using OBS to manage a bunch of this. I think if I go into here, I can raid. And I will maybe send you in here with, there's a lot of kind of default options here. We'll send you to D-Town Gato. They're doing a competitive farming thing on Story of Seasons. All right. Thanks so much. Have a good one.